We've always been drawn to the light in the dark. Long before we had screens in our pockets, we gathered around the flickering glow of a campfire to share what happened that day. Early humans lived in a wildly unpredictable environment. To make sense of the chaos, they instinctively turned to storytelling as a survival tool. It explained why the sun rose, pointed out where the dangers lay, and recorded acts of bravery. Eventually, they began using rocks and sticks to paint pictures of animals and hunting expeditions onto cave walls. These images stand as our earliest recorded narratives. But as night fell, the narratives came alive through the oral tradition. Families sat around the fire acting out myths, singing songs, and using rhythm to help everyone remember the details. This oral history had a strict physical boundary. A tale only survived as long as human memory allowed, and it could only reach the exact people sitting in the immediate vicinity of that specific fire. To bypass the fragility of human memory, ancient societies in places like Mesopotamia and Egypt began developing the very first writing systems. By pressing symbols into wet clay or etching stone, a story was finally detached from the storyteller. As these marks evolved into structured alphabets, people recorded dense narratives, like the Epic of Gilgamesh, creating permanent objects that outlived their creators. Soon, these narratives moved onto lighter, flexible materials, like Egyptian papyrus scrolls, allowing physical texts to easily travel from city to city. Writing successfully conquered the problem of time, yet the total audience was still severely bottlenecked by the speed at which a human hand could painstakingly copy a scroll. In the 1400s, a mechanical breakthrough shattered that hand-copying bottleneck, the Gutenberg printing press. By arranging metal type and stamping it onto paper, publishers could duplicate books exponentially faster and drastically lower the cost for the general public. Because of this mass duplication, highly localized folktales could suddenly cross international borders. This allowed 19th century authors like Hans Christian Andersen and the Brothers Grimm to cultivate a global audience. For the first time in history, thousands of individuals scattered across different continents could consume the exact same text simultaneously. Books successfully solved the problem of scale. However, the solitary, quiet act of reading sacrificed the shared, multisensory magic of the ancient campfire performance. During the 20th century, new technologies emerged to reintegrate the human voice and physical movement into the stories reaching the public. The radio broadcast allowed a single storyteller's voice, layered with music and sound effects, to instantly reach thousands of distant homes at the exact same moment. Then came early cinema and the modern theater. Strangers gathered in the dark, laughing, gasping, and sharing an emotional experience over moving images. The broadcast era reached its peak with the television set, piping highly synchronized, multisensory performances directly into the living room. Broadcast media successfully married the communal feeling of the ancient oral tradition with the mass production of the printing press, amplifying the audience from a few dozen neighbors to millions of viewers. Then, the smartphone placed an entire global broadcast network straight into the pocket of the average person. In the digital landscape, viewers are active participants who comment, react, and publish their own narratives to a global audience. A single story can go viral in hours, starting with one creator and exponentially branching outward across a vast global network. We record histories through YouTube videos, broadcast our voices on global podcasts, and navigate sprawling interactive video games. We've traded painted rocks and clay tablets for printing presses and microchips, yet the core purpose of storytelling remains identical to those very first cave walls. We share our experiences to connect, engage, and understand each other around one massive global campfire.